Welcome to the Where to Hunt podcast, the podcast that connects public land hunting enthusiasts. I'm your host, Eric Clark with Where to Hunt Wisconsin. Hey guys, it is October. Shooting ahead of myself here. It's September 10th, 2014. It's late, I'm tired, it's been a long day. Hey, real excited, bow season's kicking off this Saturday on the 14th. Got my gear sitting outside, getting scent proof as much as I can. Real excited. And I do want to apologize for what it's worth that I haven't done one of these episodes in so damn long. I've just been so darn busy, so I do apologize there. But the last episode that we recorded, we did have a guest, and the guest that we had was Russ from Public Land Junkies Outdoors, and they're out of the East Coast. So obviously relevant. I mean, we're into public land hunting. I personally want to do everything I can to help restore what public land hunting was in Wisconsin and what it can be in the future. And I think that, forget the DNR, right? I mean, they're doing things here and there, and they're doing good things in some places and bad things in others, and it's always hard to tell what the hell they're doing. But as a community of public land hunting enthusiasts ourselves, maybe you have private land, and like one of our guests that we had, Brian, who owns owns private land, but chooses to hunt public land because it's a challenge. Or maybe you're like me and you haven't got to that point in your life yet, and you just simply don't have the revenue or the income to go frickin' fork out, money for private land. So, you got to work hard. You got to hunt hard. Part of that is getting up real early and getting out there and scouting year round, doing your digital homework, looking at maps, understanding the lay of the land. There's a lot that goes into it. That said, just wanted to kind of go over a few things, and Russ had a lot of good things to say on this episode about what it means to what it means to be a public land hunter, and what it means to be out there, and why it's good for you. Some of the other things I want to talk about is I did have in alignment with that was a thing about getting a mountain bike, and the bike that I shared with everybody was a super robust $2,200 balls to the wall freaking crazy ass mountain bike. It had huge ass tires, a mount for your smartphone or GPS, a mount for your bow, a rack, straps to carry the deer back. It was nuts, but not everyone has that kind of coin. Obviously, if you can't afford to get private land, you're probably not going to afford that bike either. So I found an article or a forum post by someone that just was kind of talking about other ways to get outside of the box to hunt public land and make it useful for yourself, because it's freaking difficult. So what else can you do, right? This guy said, quote, "My solution, I bought a 10-speed mongoose bike. I spray painted the thing OD green and have been using it to ride 2 or 3 miles into the conservation area via the biking trail. Strap my climbing stand onto my back. I put my bow on my ATV holder, which I mounted to the front of the bike. And this allows me to get far back in the area where no one else goes. It's like having my own property back there," end quote. That's right. I mean, if you get back there far enough, there's no other people. You might as well just sit back, kick back. You're not going to see anyone. And that takes a lot of work. So maybe, work smarter, not harder. Get a bike, right? What does that mean for you? Well, maybe you got to take 2 trips. Maybe you get the buck of your life and you got to drag that thing out of there. So what do? Leave the bike back there? Probably not. Are you going to drag the deer on your bike? Probably not, unless you're some frickin' running back for the NFL and you got legs bigger than your frickin' waist. Not happening. So I don't know. It's interesting. Nonetheless, it's a cool kind of idea. You can't have motorized vehicles on public land. So just something to throw out there. Wanted to get some spark going. And what do you do to get more out of your public land hunting? Some people, they'll only go 5 feet in, right? They'll stop right there thinking, oh, well, no one's going to stop this far or close to the road. They're going to hike back in a little bit at least. And then the other extreme is going, 3, 4, 5 miles back. And that's rough when you're dragging out if you are. But another thing I want to touch on, we're doing a lot of stuff right now. Got some apparel coming out. We're getting our logo on a bunch of different pieces of clothing. And it just real tepidly starting out. So be patient with me as I kind of get that up and off the ground. And the application is coming along too. We have updates coming out for that. Projected to be done from the development team on the 24th. But as far as technology goes, I hate that crap. So it's interesting. It probably won't be ready on the 24th. There'll probably be some tweaks. So hopefully by the end of this month, that thing will be primed up and working real well for everyone to use. And it's important that I get it right, because I have a post here from someone named Joe, and Joe said that he used to hunt a long time ago, and he hasn't hunted since he was 16 because he got shot in the back by a pheasant hunter with a 12-gauge BB shot, and he said he's always nervous to bow hunt in public land because of that correlation between a bow hunting and a 12-gauge BB from a pheasant hunter. You know, I'm not sure if he was bow hunting and a pheasant hunter got him. I didn't get the whole story, obviously, but nonetheless, man, that's scary, and you got to be safe out there. Wisconsin's one of the safest states in the country when it comes to our hunting. I'd like to keep it that way and improve it if we can. And the application, when functioning correctly, and it's going to get there, it's going to take some time. You know, I got to have all the support I can get, right? So one of the features we're adding that should be done soon is a proximity feature. At least that's what I'm calling it. So you can set a limitation on an alert. Let's say you set a radius of 50 yards. Maybe you do 40 yards, whatever it is. When someone else uses the application and they check in within that distance that you've set as your alert, you'll be notified. Now, I thought this through a little bit. I don't want a notification coming through that's going to make your phone make all sorts of noise when you got a buck walking by, or a doe for that matter, if you're just trying to get meat in the freezer. But you can select it to notify you within a particular radius that you pick. And then furthermore, you can select it to be an audio alert, a vibration alert, or a screen alert. Nonetheless, that way you know when someone's nearby before you see them. And with that, you can actually see where they are located. So it's pretty high-tech stuff if you have a cell phone reception in the area. If you don't, you're out of luck. I don't have it figured out that far yet. But this thing can really help people out in terms of safety in the woods, and that's what I'm shooting for here. So I really appreciate everyone's support and technology when used right in the wilderness, and it can really go a long way. So all about leveraging and balancing that out. If it was up to me, there'd be no technology. So, you know, hopefully we don't get any sun flares soon. I hate to make my wish come true. Everyone might hate me. All right. But nonetheless, I do want to get to the show. I want to get to the interview with Russ from Public Land Junkies Outdoors. So I'm going to bring that on. Russ is doing great things over there with Public Land Junkies. They're doing the Veteran Dream Hunt. They're helping to pay for veterans, whether they're helping pay for their hunts. They're helping cover the travel cost, the licensing, researching all the information that they need to get. They're setting up the veterans with guide services in other states. So they're not covering it all, and in some cases they might. It just depends on how much support. So check those guys out. They're Public Land Junkies. We're going to bring him on the show right now. Thanks so much. All right, and today I want to go ahead and welcome Russ Adams to the show. Russ is with Public Land Junkies Outdoors. Welcome to the show, Russ.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How about yourself?
I can't complain one bit. Yeah. Woke up on the right side of the dirt today.
That sounds good. You're so vertical. I find that most people won't listen when I complain anyways, so it's one of those things. But I seeked you out and have pestered you for quite some time, and I think that's just how it goes. Everyone's busy for good reasons, and it sounds like you've been up to quite a bit on your end of where are you from, Russ?
Southern New Jersey, a town called Chatsworth.
All right, and that's over on the East Coast. I have a couple questions lined up here right out the gate. I just want to go over some introductory stuff. Yep. Go ahead and tell the audience about yourself and about your company. What do you guys do?
Well, Public Land Junkies was developed or designed by me. Just an idea. I wanted to establish something pretty much for my kids, believe it or not, to run with. We've talked about modern technology and how kids get so tied up into it. And if I want my kids to enjoy the outdoors, I guess we're going to have to implement this modern technology into it. So they hunt with me on land. We don't have, we do own our own land, but it's 2 acres and it's not very much to hunt on. So we're like every other average hunter out there. We have to seek out the most financially capable place to hunt, and that is around here in New Jersey. It's state land. There's vast amounts of state land here, and what I've kind of wanted them to do is start sharing their hunting stories with their peers and showing them how they've come about maybe capturing a hunt or hey, the misses, everything, a little bit of everything. And as we, go along, it's just hit or miss. There's no secrets. We don't hide where we hunt. If we do good in a place, we share that with folks. It's just as much your right to go there and hunt as it is my right. And we've just built off of that.
That's a great perspective. It's hard to get the masses to follow that kind of thought process. Usually seems people find a spot and they kind of hoard it as best they can and make it a secret. And it's like, where'd you shoot that deer? Oh, in the lungs. Okay, well.
You know what? And I'm not going to lie. At one time, I was the same way.
Yep.
But there's something about you teaching your kids right and wrong that brings the best out in you, and it has in me. It's why would I try to claim this as mine, my little area, when anybody has the right to be in there? And how could I teach my kids the difference between right and wrong when I'm trying to claim a spot that belongs to the state? So I kind of, it brought a little bit of better out of me. I'm like, let's get out of this, making this my area and make it our area. And hey, if somebody comes in, I shake their hand, make them aware of where we are, and I want to know where they're going to be, just for the safety aspects of it.
Yep. No, that's good. Especially if you're trying to pass that down, I think that's the good starting point there. Otherwise, if you're passing down the other way, you're creating a hostile place. And you're right, it's state land.
Yes.
You can't really tell someone where to stand on a sidewalk. It's the sidewalk. What are you going to do? It's there for everyone to use.
Yes.
Well, that's good. I really like to hear that kind of perspective. I kind of came from your initial thought process as well, where I was like, well, this is kind of my spot. I don't really want to tell anybody. I guess I wasn't really I wasn't mean about it, but I definitely didn't discuss it as openly now. And people ask, I'll give up a good spot for anyone trying to get into the sport. If someone's, hey, where do I go? I'll put them where I've had good luck before, or where I know there's deer, and I'll pick somewhere. I'll go somewhere else. I want someone getting into it to
exactly
really experience what it's all about.
Yeah, and until you, as let's just in the single hunter aspect, where you go out by yourself, you hunt by yourself, and you want to be there by yourself and enjoy the serenity, the quietness of the entire environment. And when you pair up, I started to hunt a little more with my father, and it still had that little edge of, I can't wait till one comes into me. And then as time moves on, it wasn't no longer about me. It was like, all right, I want one to come to my father now, and then when he gets one, it's like, this is really feeling good. And then I had kids. I really, I don't mean to sound like a sicko, but I really enjoy hunting, and there's nothing better than capitalizing on a hunt than, getting your harvest done. And the greatest feeling that overrides that is when you're in the tree with one of your kids and they get it done.
Yep. Yeah,
so
I can't imagine. We've all been the kid. At least that's the part I played so far.
2 years ago, my oldest son harvested his first deer. So it was, a moment for me, almost like I harvested my first deer. He was like, Dad, you want to be all right? I was panting and huffing and puffing. I tried to videotape it. It was a mess. But the feeling inside that I had was the good feeling that we all seek when you're hunting, but now we're striving to get the next little guy his, and it's like goals for me. The next goal. And when somebody from the outside, when we established the Public Land Junkies, mainly on Facebook and Twitter, it's just a social networking thing. When folks are coming to me and asking, we want to go to, for example, Ohio, where did you go, or would you send us? there's no lies. I'll tell you the tree that I was in. You know, if you can go there and you can hunt it and get one, you gotta let me know, because it makes me feel that good inside that I helped you out too.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I would go about it. I'd be like, well, just send me the pictures. You know, let me know how you did.
Yeah, and my kids, I try to keep our site as clean as possible, because you know, I can't really go by likes. And we have a ton of likes, but of them, like, only, let's just say, a quarter of them actually really get into your conversations, into your pictures, and so on.
Right.
Of that amount, half of them are kids on my site. So I really try to filter out any negativity, any trash talk about, oh, that deer was small. You know what? That's not here. We're not going to explore the small deer versus the big deer. We're not going to explore the who got theirs first. You know, it's not a competition. It was built for, one, survival, and two, to have some fun, for recreation.
Yep. It's to enjoy an experience that's as old as time. It's been around forever, and that's the same feeling that they did back then. You know, on some level, I'm sure.
And nothing excites me more to see my kids. I mean, I don't like watching them on the computer, but when they're on the computer and they're on our site, interacting with folks and interacting with some great people, and you know, they're just going along with their story, their hunting story, how it happened, and it really makes me feel good inside that we have built something that is working.
Yep.
And it's, you know, like I said, it's not huge, but it's starting to really establish some purpose in many directions, and one being with the public land, and which is heavily hunted by many people, and the other, since we are attracting a nice crowd, I feel that you gotta kind of do something good with it. I mean, we have our hats and our shirts and all that, and we try to raise money, but what are we going to do with that money? I mean, we're going to spend it? No. I want my kids to learn about giving back, about, you know, we can make money at doing this. Where are we going to put it? So I've established a thing called Veterans Dream Hunt, and all of our sales, the profit from all our sales goes to the Veterans Dream Hunt, and it is pretty much word of mouth or through our site, and outfitters, individuals can recommend veterans that hunt to us if they're going to go on a hunt. We try to cover the travel expenses, possibly the lodging. Many outfitters give the hunts away. But
yeah, I've heard of that. That's, as far as, they're going to be really gracious in doing so. I think it'd be almost like this weird feeling you'd have if you try to charge. I mean, at least if you're charging to cover costs, that's one thing. But other than that, you shouldn't be trying to profit off of that situation.
Yeah. So what has happened is I've gotten in contact with a few outfitters and a couple individuals that lease land, and they give the hunts to the veterans, and we cover their travel expenses, or try to cover the license fees, because some of the states that they're hunting in the fees are really high. So, you know, just to take some of the burden off. And like I said, right now we're not giant. I couldn't pay for a single man's entire. But what I could do is make 10 veterans that hunt a little happier by giving them some money towards their hunt, or covering their license fees, getting them there, and making sure it happens right. But the ultimate goal here is to get big enough to supply the whole package.
Yeah, the more you can cover, the better, right?
Yes.
Have you? How many have you done so far? I'm just curious. Helping sponsor.
I never really counted. A roundabout number. I would say not quite 10. We've definitely done 7.
So you've turned out a few then. I mean, that's a great number for just starting.
Oh yeah. We've put out just in the past year. Now, Public Land Junkies is only a year and a half, a little over a year and a half old, and we just last year we put out $11,000 towards
impressive.
veterans hunts.
Wow.
It's all in the people that are coming to us and supporting us and purchasing our hats and shirts and our decals and great some of the gracious donations. Oh my Lord, I couldn't believe some of the things that people have contributed to us. Hunts, just right on down the line. So it's been pretty impressive and pretty overwhelming, shall I say.
What one question I was thinking about asking here is I'm gonna go ahead and ask it. Is that were you in the service yourself? Is that what turned you on to helping out veterans specifically, or how did you just have a great appreciation for the freedoms we have, and those are the people that help fight for it? Is that kind of the mantra?
Well, in the past, let's just say post 9/11 stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't mean to sound rude. I always want to throw the word. All the post 9/11 stuff. Everybody's thanking veterans, veterans, and thanking our armed forces and so on.
Put your money where your mouth is.
That, yes, and number two, it's such a broad thank you. You have folks that go overseas and never pick up a weapon per se. They're in doing the paperwork, making sure things go right, making sure plans go right, making sure orders go out properly. Then you got the guy and the woman that has the gun in her hand that has to go actually out into the crazy world and try to defend our nation. And what I wanted to do was help that group that hunts. If I had billions of dollars, I'd give it all to all of them, but we can't do that. So I've narrowed it down to something that we have in common with some veterans, and that is hunting. Those that hunt, I want to say thank you, and I want to thank you for doing your job, protecting the land that was designed to be done what we do with it. Our public land that we're allowed to hunt on is protected as much by them as our freedom is protected by them.
Yeah,
so
I think you're coming from a great place, Russ. I couldn't be more proud to be having you on the show right now, to be honest. I think there's going to be a lot of veterans. I personally have a ton of friends that are vets, and there's obviously a nice, in the percentage of our following of where to hunt, for instance, we actually had a veteran message us yesterday asking, "Hey, I'm out of state right now, but when I get back, I'm just coming to Wisconsin. Can you help me figure out where I might be able to hunt, so on and so forth?" And with the community that we have created, hopefully we can help him out, at least finding a spot. But what you're doing is so much more, even still. So I really hope to share this with them as well to spread your word, because you're doing something.
Yeah,
good.
Well, you said you contact, and Wisconsin, it's very bizarre. I mean, I like to sort. I like to sort through the people that have contacted us, as far as supporters, friends, and even in the like category on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I like to see where they're from, and I would bet to say easily a third of them are from Wisconsin, Michigan. That it's very hunter populated up that way.
The Midwest is a big hunting area.
Yeah, it's like, wow, man. But if they're
That's cool.
If anybody is interested in where to hunt in a certain state, if I haven't been there to scout it, if I can't find somebody that has been there or hunted it, we will contact some way, somehow, and seek out and help folks out. And It's really simple. Like I said, there's no secrets. It's public land. You can go there. You can scout it yourself. But it is very nice when
you have boots on the ground somewhere else that can say, hey, this is a dense area. Or, no, it's not really happening there.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, a good example is, like, I don't have the time. Started a new job. I don't have all that vacation time built up. I can't do all the scouting that I want to do this year. I usually pick 3 states, go to them, scout 2 or 3 pieces of public land on them, pretty good enough to make me happy if I were going to go hunt them. And then that gives me a little base to stand on to hand to others, saying, well, I've been here. You might want to check this or this or this. So I've been in contact. This year we got basically 1 hunt scheduled in Kentucky, and I can't get out there to scout the piece that I'm going to go hunt. I went down in the spring, and we scouted one area out and found that it was heavily populated during the time of the year that we go. So I wanted a little bit of a backup plan.
Right.
A young fella contacted me on Facebook and said, I'm from this certain area. Is there any way that I can help you out? Sure. Hey, scout some things out. Show me what you got. This guy sends me trail camera pictures. Hey, I'm going to take his word for it. I can't tell you if that's from that area or not, but he's showing me deer that he has harvested. He's sending me maps of where he went in certain parks, what he looks for. I'm going to go by it.
It sounds like your plan B is better than your plan A at that point.
Way better.
Holy cow,
Way
they have to
better.
switch those 2 around.
Yeah, can you tie them up too? But
wow.
It's, just networking, working with each other and sharing your stories. We have a little more lined up. I really don't. I'm not big on TV. And as you can see, I'm not really good on radio, but
I think you're doing just fine.
I think we have some ideas that are working and mending here, and I'm hoping to even get our stuff on a show. Not us, it's the public. If you hunt a public land and you video your hunt and it comes together for you, why not have it on our show?
Right.
The only thing I would be doing is piecing it together and introducing who's the next hunt's going to be. There's a couple shows out there like that right now, but none of them really focus on what we're doing on public land.
There's one that sticks out to me that does, but so far, I obviously don't know about everything. It's just how it is. There's too much out there, but one that has been picking up steam. They have their own following. They're a big name, and they hunt ethically, and they only hunt public, and they're sponsor free. So I can appreciate everything they're doing. But they're actually called, not to give them a plug or anything. I'm just saying. It's
hit them up.
It's Whitetail Adrenaline. They're a good group of guys.
Yes.
And I shot for the moon and decided I'd wanted to have him on the show right out the gate, and they were kind enough to be on my first episode to talk about what they do.
Yeah.
So those
good
guys
bunch
are,
of guys. I met them out at the Great American Outdoor Show.
Very cool.
Yeah, and they were, here, check this out. We got our videos. They made the DVDs and all that stuff. They do some great stuff. I mean, it is worthy of watching.
I'm excited for their to get their next one. I'm just like, I can't wait to watch it.
They really do good stuff. And I didn't get to know them well, but for the, we were there 9 days, and asked me if I'll ever do a 9-day show again. No.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Those shows are tiring.
The appreciation I have gained towards your celebrity folks that are in the industry is unbelievable. To be able to stand there and smile all day long, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, shaking hands, greeting people, rain, sleet, snow, happy, sick, and just smile and make it to the next day for 9 days in a row is unbelievable.
Yeah, that is really
and
takes
they
a lot.
keep it going.
Yeah, to keep in the back of your mind that every person is a new person with their own outlook and experience. You know, you got to have that.
You don't know what to expect with the next handshake, you know, and I've seen it, you know, firsthand, you know, and but being average, you know, being the unknown, people want to know. They ask questions, and I did my best. I think I repeated myself 350 million times there. I was trying to gather people in little groups, like, hey, let's explain this once and not 4 times. But you have to smile. You have to tell them what you're doing, and don't lie. Don't tell no secret, or you know, don't tell no secret. Don't have no secrets.
Right.
It's what it is, you know.
Yeah, transparency is key, and I think everything you're doing, I support you 100% after talking to you now, and not that I didn't before. I just wasn't fully up to speed with what you guys did, which is why I wanted to have you on. I think you've answered the vast majority of the questions I had, which weren't too many. You know, you've shown us what's unique about what you do, and for you know, a lot of it is advocating for the younger generation and kind of, you know, spreading the roots that way. You know, in terms of getting the dream hunt together, the one question I had is, does someone bring to your attention a vet that is interested in the dream hunt, and then you kind of go from there, or how does that kind of get going?
If you had someone that you were interested in helping out, like you said, listen, my buddy was just here, and he's in an unfortunate situation that he cannot afford a hunt, but we want to give him a hunt. Okay? Whomever or wherever you want to give him the hunt, you would take care of that end of the deal, lining it up. Then contact me, whether it be through my email, through our website, through Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Get a hold of us, and I would need that person's information. Therefore, I could contact them, discuss with them what's going on and where they're going, you know, all their information. And then when it comes time for that either the outfitter that you were going through, that you have taken care of, or you're going to do a public land, I will take care of the license fee, or I will, you know, research where they're going to go and try to help them out finding places to stay. If I do that, I'll take care of the stay for them. You know, it's like I said.
Whichever pieces are most economical for you to help where you can. Yeah, that's okay.
You know, some have been. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There was a very special one actually that had nothing when they came back. I mean, literally nothing. Their home got wiped out. It was just the saddest story. I need proof of that, though. You know, it's sad that I do. I wish I could just say, I don't.
Age, it's one of those.
Care if it's real or not, and just hand the money out. But I need proof. You know, you could be scammed at any second. So once I'm convinced that, wow, this is a real story, this has touched my heart, I made sure that this young man, his hunt was taken care of. And I made sure that his lodging through me was taken care of. It was like $750. I had not a dime of it at the time. I posted once. One post took me 7 minutes to raise $750.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was pretty much from 3 people. They were just like, here, get it done. And, you know, those people, I immediately, like, I got to make sure that I get plenty. It sounds stupid, but plenty of shirts and hats to them, and thank them some way, somehow. And, you know, they've been with me from the beginning. They're still great supporters. They're still, you know, great sports that come back and always have stories, and haven't gotten bored with my very small vocabulary.
Oh, no.
But
that just means they can understand
that's
you.
basically how it is.
Yeah.
And I also have, I mean, if no one really knows and they come to me and say, we really don't know where we want to go, I have a couple people in a couple different states that will take you in and do the hunt for you, and I take care of any of the expenses.
Which, if you don't mind me asking, which states are those?
We have right now Kentucky. We have two outfitters in Illinois. I have one in Wisconsin. Not an outfitter, a private property farm that allows veterans to come in. And I'm working on one right now in Maryland. So I'm trying to really get it out there so that we can, get a little bit of something everywhere. Oh, in Florida.
Really cool.
I don't want to forget anybody. There's one in Florida. They do pig hog hunts.
Hog hunts, yeah. We have feral hog here in Wisconsin, but it's a super, super small population of them. So they're invasive. So you can hunt them any time of the year if you can find where they are. I know a lot of people love to do that, but I haven't hunted them before. Just whitetail so far. Too busy to learn how to hunt anything else yet.
Yep, I'm stuck in it. I just love the feeling that I get with the elusive whitetail.
Yeah, it's. I can't say I've hunted anything else, so I guess I don't know for sure how it compares. But from the people that haven't hunted them, and the ones that have other animals, you get the sense that there's a great passion for it, regardless. So that's cool. I'm happy that you took time out of your day and off the farm and out of the woods and everything like that to be on the show.
I'm much appreciated to have me. Really, it's very humbling to be able to reach out there and explain to folks what we're trying to do and have people grasp onto it.
And that's all this is. So I don't profit from this at all. This is just a way to expand the reach of the community that I have, and connect. So I will be sure to share this with my audience. And once it's finished, I'll give you the link so you can share it with yours as well. And then they can hear it right from the horse's mouth, And I think you've done it very endearingly. I very pleased to have you on the show. Very genuine. I appreciate it, Russ. So
likewise.
What I'll do, I don't have anything else left for you, so I will go ahead and release you from the show, and I hope you have a great day from here.
You too. Enjoy the season.
All right, thanks.
Take care.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, taking the time out of your day and out of the woods if you've been out scouting, which I doubt it at this point. But make sure your stuff is sitting outside if it's not raining and you're getting that fresh air scent all over it. Play the wind right. Use your scent control. Do what you do. What other things? I should probably ask, does anyone have any rituals or good luck charms or anything they do or bring with them for the start of any opener, whether it's bow or gun? I'm just curious. If you made it this far in the episode, go ahead and comment on the Facebook page. You can find it at facebook.com/where-to-hunt-Wisconsin. Things to look out for coming up soon here is the new site that's going to help sell some of our apparel, get the brand out there, get the recognition. Again, thank you a million times for the support. Everyone is super, super engaged and supportive of everything we've been doing here, and I really appreciate that. It's going to push me real hard to make sure that we're doing what you guys want. So thanks again a million times. Have fun this weekend. Be safe. Let the arrows fly straight into their target. If you're putting meat in the freezer, awesome. If you're trying to get a trophy, awesome. Doesn't matter. Just be cordial to each other out there. Have fun. Be safe. Enjoy it. Make some memories. Get some experiences. Talk to you next time. I'm going to bed. See ya.